a moment and think about the traits that you got from your ancestors. There's probably some that stand out a little more than others. Maybe you inherited your mother's famous hot temper. Maybe everybody on your father's side of the family are walking giants. Or maybe you have 37 trillion bacteria wiggling around in your gut right now that are messing with your mind, lovingly gifted to you by your great-grandmother. And you thought socks at Christmas were bad. Ancestral prenatal stress, or APS for short, is the stress that our female ancestors experienced during pregnancy in the context of our lives. Prenatal stress has been found to be associated with a health and behavior of not just mother and child, but multiple generations beyond this point, impacting things such as stress response or increasing your risk of several psychiatric disorders. But we still aren't entirely sure the mechanisms by which this occurs. So what about the gut? Well, it's been shown that prenatal stress actually impacts the gut bacterial population, or microbiome, of both mother and child, which makes sense since we get our original template for our bacteria from our mothers. But apparently nobody's decided to look at the generations past this point. And as important as gut health is, the story doesn't stop here. It's actually shown that there's a two-way signaling pathway between the bacteria in your gut, through your guts and brains, and out into your behavior. What this actually means is that those mind-meddling bacteria I talked about, what you have living in your gut changes who we are as people. So is this a potential mechanism by which APS impacts our health and behavior? That's what my study set out to answer. I use a multi-generational rat cohort, starting with 2 groups of pregnant female dams, one of which is stressed and the other which is just left well alone enough to go gestate in peace. From here, we breed 3 more generations, our child, grandchild, and great-grandchild generations. Once we have all our individuals, we collect feces samples. And yes, I know that's really gross, but it's actually an incredibly powerful way to get an idea of exactly what bacteria are living in your gut and in what proportions. Once we have this information, we can then correlate it to things such as health, behavior, stress response, hormone levels. And once we have all that information, we can correlate that to look at trends between different ancestral groups and also examine how these trends develop down a single gene line. So guts and feces and behavior, why should you care about any of this? Well, everyone in this room has 3 things in common. We all have guts, we all had a great-grandmother, and we all want to be healthy. The way that we view health is changing. We're starting to take a more whole-body, holistic approach to things, and it's leading to the development of treatments and therapies that we never would have considered 10 years ago. So knowledge about your APS and your microbiome can help you not only treat, but predict and prevent diseases later in life. The best disease is the one you never have to deal with at all. So talk to your family. See if you can get to know your ancestors and their lives a little bit, and maybe you'll get some insight into your insides. Thank you.